good ball. Race. It goes towards Overrun. Brilliant save indeed. Walsh has scored. Leicester City are in dreamland now. Vardy in the middle. This could be a huge moment. Vardy scores. And it's pandemonium in Leicester.
Mahrez with his left. Albrighton with his right. It is Mahrez. It's a good ball in. Morgan's there. It's in. Leicester City score. It is a captain's goal from Wes Morgan, who lifted the Premier League trophy in May. He might have played a big part now in taking Leicester City through to the quarter-finals of the Champions League.
Lift the trophy to the skies. Leicester City are the champions of the Premier League. 5,000 to 1.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Blue Tinted Glasses. It is Wednesday, which means it is Fox's Den time, and we have a fun little show to do tonight. I want everybody in the chat to get involved with this one. It's going to be a good one. We're in a good mood. Marty's announced. No more stress about the manager. No more complaining, although I'm sure it won't be long before there's some moaning happening. But before we get into it all, let's just see who's here in the chat already. Even to the early ones, Daniel O'Connor here, 5 minutes early. Same to JC74. Easy as a Baza, Paul, John, Craig, loads of people. Abdul, Rene, hope you're good, mate. Foss Hub. Wolf says, let's get excited. Yeah, let's get excited. Let's get excited. Hello to Banana. Marty in training looks right, and Frankie says hola. Yeah, Frank. Yeah, well, let's get into it. Anil, start with you, mate. How's things after the manager weight is now off the shoulders?
Oh, great. I mean, I don't know about you, but I actually feel that our pre-season started yesterday. We've been going through the doldrums trying to drag out any possible content here on BTG, but now finally, it's all relevant. So let's go. Let's do this.
Yeah, totally. I mean, the video we're doing tonight, I've been wanting to do for like a month. So it'll make sense why we're doing it now, obviously, because we've got a manager. So we've got an idea on maybe the type of player that he will actually want to keep around. Ragsy, over to you, mate. How are you?
Yeah, all good, man. Good evening, everybody. I'm sure Neil's more relieved than anybody, like heading into tactical analysis for this season. And if it was the prospect of like a Chris Wilder and stuff, I think it was like it'd have been curtains for his well-being and stuff. So more relief for him, and yeah, for the channel as well, and having all this content. And yeah, even just like the little snippets from the media, like already, like you're feeling. This is the right decision to bring him in and stuff. So yeah, can't wait for him.
Ethan, all the way from South Africa, mate. How's things with you? Are you happy?
Listen. It's winter right now in South Africa. I've been freezing my tits off, but the Mardi party's here. The fireplace is going. Life is good right now. I'm really happy. I can't imagine watching Anil talk about Chris Wilder tactics for an hour. So I'm grateful it's Marty. And yeah, I'm excited now. Like you said, preseason starts today, and yeah, I can't wait for the season now.
Yeah. Hello to you, Reggie and Lee, mate. Hope you're well. Buzz says, what about him speaking different languages? Yeah, we spoke about this last week when he first got linked. When we were looking online at all of his stuff, and yeah, it did say he spoke all these different languages. Tony says Marty looks good training, looks serious rather than a kickabout. Richard says Henry Winter singing his praises on East Midlands News tonight. Yeah, I did see a tweet as well from Henry Winter praising the appointment of Marty Cifuentes. So, yeah, lots to be excited about. Hello to you as well, Liam, mate. Evening all. I'm on the beers. Marty's arrived. Vibes are good. Just need Bobby Decoder to fuck off now. Well, make sure to have your say in the chat. Right, let's get into it. So, of course, we are back again with the tier list. We have had it many of times before, and we are back again. So we have 4 different categories here. We've got keep, loan, sell at the right price, and just sell. I think last time we had a terminate category, which was where Danny Ward found himself, and Odson Edward and many others. But we've just got keep, loan, sell. Sell at right price and sell. No release thing because the free agents have left. They're all done. Vardy, Danny Ward, Daniel Everson, they're gone. So yeah, the only player we haven't got here, and if I have forgotten anyone, apologies. I know there are one or two youth players that I have left out, but the main ones are here. Of course, which player was it that went out on loan? Henry Cartwright, obviously, yeah, that was it. He went out on loan to Falkirk, I think. So that's done. So let's start. This is in no particular order. It's just how it was imported in. We're going to start with the man that is going to make Luke eat a chili live on BTG, and it's Ricardo Pereira. So I'll start with you, Anil, mate. Ricardo Pereira, what do you think we should and what do you think will happen to him this summer?
We should keep him, and I think we will keep him. I think he's going to be the captain this season. I think he's going to be a very important player in the system that Cifuentes uses. I expect him to be a key player, a little bit like how he was under Enzo, but I think he'll be used in a more attacking manner, and I think that'll suit his game even more than what he is. So, yeah, keep for me.
Yeah, with these easier ones, I'll put in quotation marks. I'm going to just come to the others, very quickly. I mean, I'll come to you first, Ragsy. Are you in agreement with this, mate, keeping Ricardo Pereira?
Complete agreement. Yeah. Quite frankly, he's the club captain for us next season. And I know he's got a year left, but I think that's, he's right to sort of like run out his course and then he could be a free man and stuff. And just for the case of this season, to help integrate like the sides and, bring through the youth and stuff, I think he's an actual experienced guy that has like really good qualities and plays at the highest level. And I think can actually be shown as a leader, unlike some that are experienced but offer absolutely nothing, which we'll get into. But him, easy keep for me.
Ethan, any arguments with this one, mate? Ricardo Pereira being kept?
Yeah, like Ragsy said, it's just the 1 year contract for me. You don't want to see another asset leave on a free. So maybe you sell if the price is right. But no, he's one of our best players. He's shown it last time in the championship. He is the club captain, so for me, he's a keep.
Oh, you're on mute.
Damn it, again, sacked. Over to the next one. I wish I was still on mute reading. So here is a bit more of a difficult one, potentially difficult. We'll see. I know what some people in the chat will say. Mr. Harold Wanks, as we were calling him earlier in the year, but we'll call him by his real name, Harry Winks. I think if you asked a lot of Leicester fans 3 months ago, they would have said, get rid. Now that we know who the new manager is, I would lean more towards keeping Harry Winks, just because I think he will be a vital part of what Marty wants to do. Now, I'm sure Marty, you know what? I was going to say maybe Marty would like to replace him, but he probably doesn't. If you had a list of names that were affordable to come in and play in that role, and you had Harry Winks, I think Marty would probably choose Harry Winks, Anil. But yeah, because we know how much Enzo Maresca loved him, and I'm sure that Marty will too.
When we covered this last night, what's your favourite position in Football Manager, Locks?
Regista, baby.
The Regista, exactly. And any Johan Cruyff Barcelona-based team, that Regista is arguably the most important player in the entire team. Even if they're not scoring goals, not getting assists, not even getting pre-assists at some point, it's the most important player. And I think you're right. I don't think a championship club can find, unless you can unearth some sort of gem from your academy who is just a natural to play in that position, you're not going to find a better one. So I think, again, he's going to be an integral part of the team, and I think he's got to play. So keep for me.
So Ethan and Ragsy, whoever wants to take it first, is there an argument to be had at sell at the right price? Now, the reason I'm going to ask this is because for 2 reasons. Number one, there was trouble last season on 2 occasions. You had the party in Copenhagen that he seems to be front and center of. And secondly, he was expelled from the squad because he refused to stay at Seagrave 1 night a week. Another thing I'm going to say is he is out of contract in a year's time. So if he stays, let's say we get promoted, he may well sign on. We saw it with Wilfred Ndidi, right? Getting promoted, but he might get a decent, he'll get a good contract as well, being in the Premier League. But there is a risk that we don't go up, and a lot of people think we won't go up first time. Maybe playoffs, maybe outside of playoffs. Who knows? He will probably leave at the end of his contract, especially if he has a decent year, and we don't go up. He'll probably leave. So, Ethan, Ragsy, whoever wants to take it, is there an argument for sell Winks at the right price?
Who first?
Okay,
You first.
I think there is. I think like I said before, you don't want to see anyone leave on a free. I think long term, is he really gonna fit our team in the Premier League? We've seen him struggle there. There's other players there. We signed Skip to replace him, so there is a in-house solution. You don't really need to delve into the market. But he has shown in the Championship he is one of, if not one, the best player, right? So I don't know. I think you'd have to ask him if he wants to leave, right? If he's really determined to work hard, then you keep him around. If he's drinking the Aperol Spritz again and not giving a toss, then you definitely want to sell him.
Yeah. For me, I'm not going to lie, I've kind of been flip-flopping between the two as to like whether we want to keep him, because we know how good he was under Enzo, and this is the Championship. We know he's not good enough for the Premier League and has got a year left. So you may sit here and weigh it up. But against every fibre that I feel as a Leicester fan, like it just, having a player that just wants to stay in London and is completely unwilling to move to Leicester is a big, big problem for me. And there's a huge red flag when it comes to actually being 100% committed to our cause and where we need to get to and, achieving our targets and stuff. And knowing that he's got one more year left, I think it is a risk having him around, knowing that, he may just pack it in. He may just be like, you know what, like if he ain't feeling Marty, kind of like how he wasn't feeling Rude and he wasn't feeling Cooper, then we know what he's going to do and he will kick up a fuss. So I think it is a risk keeping him in. And also, not to mention in the chat, like that they've mentioned, the wages. It's ridiculous. Like, we need to get this wage bill down. We've already cut off Vardy. So, like, in terms of preventing in the future for further, like, financial implications and stuff, maybe it is wise to actually cut it off and we could sell at the right price. However, despite all saying that, for a year, if we can suffice, if Marty can get him on board, for now, keep. It may change after a day, but I'm going to...
Can I come in here? Just because this might also take us on to another player. So I think one argument is, and it is related to another player, is if you... In the preseason friendlies, when Winks isn't playing, who's playing at the base of that pivot as the regista?
That's the thing. I can't think of anyone. I don't know who would do the role if, like, let's say, like, who comes in. Like, you can't promote anybody from the youth, and we don't have a natural replacement for him. We would have to reinvest that back into the team to go and get him in. And I don't think we have the capabilities to do that at the minute. So that's the issue.
Ethan, do you know? Have you seen who Andy King was using as the base of that regista?
I feel like it was one of the younger guys, but I feel...
I don't know.
No, I don't think he's ready. If you're asking for my opinion, I'm not Marty Cifuentes.
It was Boobs. Boobs.
Yeah, I'd say
okay.
Bubakari,
So sorry to throw a bit of chaos and totally destroy Lox's stream. So I guess what I'm saying is, if you're saying sell at right price, I think this should lead into Booba, right? Because I feel it's going to be one of those two is going to be playing that position. You could even argue you need to keep both because you've got to have rotation options in the Championship. They're both on big wages. One of them is out of contract at the end of the year. That I think is a very good point. So who do you trust? Well, what I will say is we actually didn't see Booba in the Championship last time around. So who knows? He might be even better than Winks in that position, or he could be worse. And you've got to take his Premier League record in this case. So, sorry to throw a bit of chaos in there, but that's the other person. And actually, to be fair, the way that King was playing is that when Ricky was playing, it was Ricky and Winks were playing next to one another. Ricky was inverting next to him. But actually, when Booba was playing, he was playing more of the classic 4-3-3 where you've only got one defensive midfielder at the base, and it was Booba by himself. So actually, to be totally honest with you, if you're going to like completely go for Marty's system straight away, he's the one that technically is playing right away.
Sorry, I had to bring that up. I'm gonna stick with keep, and I think the deciding factor is Marty, and I think it is a player that Marty will absolutely love in the Championship compared to the players that he's had to deal with at QPR. You know, he's done a job with them at QPR, but having Winks there, you know, completely changes things for him. So I'm gonna have keep. So up next is Wilfred and Didi. Now there are going to be a couple people on this list who we kind of know are leaving, but we don't know 100% sure are leaving. They could leave. For me, I mean, I would lean more towards just sell at the right price with Wilf. And what I mean by that is I think he's going to go anyway, so just try and get as much as you can. There is allegedly a release clause which we all thought was 9 million, but then there's been rumors the last couple of days about 13 million or something, so we don't know for sure, but I would have him in sell at the right price. I think we can go quickly through this one. Does anybody disagree with that?
No, I completely agree. I think, like, yeah, for me, sorry, Manny, but Will's time at the top level is done. Like, I think he's like, he can't sustain that fitness for me, and I just don't think he's up to, like, in terms of physicality anymore, in terms of technical ability, in terms of how we want to progress aside and be, you know, very intricate in possession. He's just not the right fit for what we need. And you just know, like, heading into the season, halfway through, he's going to get his inevitable injury where he's out for 6 to 12 weeks and he's pretty much inactive for the rest of the season. So, like, I think it's, yeah, for me, sell at the right price and stuff. Like, no, let's not cheapskate if we can, but like, we don't know about the relegation clause. But yeah, I agree, sell at the right price.
John Rodkins here, look, with his paper and pen. Anil, you're in agreement, right? Yeah, just sell. I think it's time to. I mean, he's been here for 9 years. It looks like he's going to be going anyway. We just need to try and get as much money as possible.
I put him in that category because I think he will be sold regardless. But actually, I would keep him. But I don't think it's going to be for us to decide. I think he is going to be sold. So there you go. The club's already sniffing. For the amount of money that he's going for, I think he's a bargain as a squad player. So someone's going to buy him.
James Justin, people. Now, he had a tough season. I'm going to call it a roller coaster season. There weren't many highs, but I actually think, and I'm going to stand by this. This upset a few people when I said this last time. Other than Bilal, I actually think he was our best player in the second half of the season. I genuinely think he was our best player second half of the season, other than Bilal. I think when Cooper was sacked, I think the improved performance just proved that Cooper, there was a serious fault down that right-hand side. And Neil, let me come to you first, mate. JJ, in the Championship, I will say he didn't set it alight last time. He wasn't incredible in the Championship last time. He was playing on the left. What would you do with JJ this summer?
I think the last time we did this, we did have him at sell at right price. And I think I'll go with that. I think the thing is, you got to think of a few things. Like, one, what is the system we're going to play? And two, who is coming through? And I think Olabade Aluko, who we've seen in the pre-seasons, looks really, really good. I just checked the official website. Him, Monga, and Jake Evans were promoted to the first team squad by the end of the season. So I think that shows you that they are going to be part of the first team squad this season. I've got nothing against JJ. I think if he stays, I'm not going to be unhappy. I can definitely see a place for him to be in the team. But, you know, you've got him, you've got Koulibaly, you've got Ricardo, you've got Aluko, you've got the two left backs I'm sure we're going to get onto. That said, I wouldn't mind seeing JJ at left back compared to the other two. So I'm perfectly happy if he stays. But I think, you know, if the right price was, let's say someone offered you 10 million for James Justin, would you take it?
Yeah.
And that's why I think he ended up in sell at right price last time round. It says at right price. It's not sell no matter what. It's sell at the right price. And I think if the right price came along, you probably would sell him. So for me, that's what I would put in. But like I say, I'm a big fan of his. I think he's a good player. And I think you're really right to point out how the mental fortitude he showed, being like the scapegoat a lot of the time from both the fans and the manager setting him up to fail. And by the end of it, he was pretty good compared to the rest of the squad.
We've got 1-1 at the minute because I've decided in my head I'm putting keep. Anil's saying sell at right price, which I think is fair. I'm borderline. But let's go to the other two. Ethan first. What are you saying, mate?
I'm leaning towards keep. I think JJ's been here for a while. I think he's adapted his game and overcome a lot of hardships in his career. He's very versatile. Can play on the left or on the right. Can play as a centre back in the back three. So he's very versatile in that aspect. So I think Championship is a long season. So to have someone of his skill set is necessary. Although, like, I can understand if someone comes in for an offer, you have to weigh it up, right? He's not an untouchable player. But I'm leaning more.
I think that's with. I was going to say I think that's with anyone, right? Because even if if it was for Tau and the offer was 100 million, I think we'd we'd be so. But no. So you're leaning towards Keep. What are you saying, Ragsy, mate?
I'm with Neil on this one. I think it's nothing. I never have any sort of bad blood towards JJ. I think he's a swell guy, and I think he's hugely committed. And it is unfortunate the hardships he's had during his time here, and I respect his loyalty. I just think it's right for all parties, to be honest with you. I think, especially if he's got a year left on his contract, I'm like, I think he could be. He could end up being like a useful squad player for a Premier League side, a lower Premier League side somewhere, and then he can go and rebuild his career. But I just think, like, in terms of the last couple of seasons, I think he has struggled, and I think we are sitting here and thinking, okay, if we do get back into the Premier League, this is a question you want to ask: would you offer him a contract extension? I wouldn't personally. I just think, like, I think there are limitations now that we are seeing and are becoming more apparent. So I think just for the best of all parties, I'd say sell at the right price.
Well, we seem to have a tie. Everybody in the chat, quickly put keep or sell at right price for JJ. Let us know, because I'm definitely leaning more towards keep. So far, Danky said 1 year left, so he does have 1 year left. Okay, I didn't realize JJ had that
he had
as well.
2 initially, but yeah.
Yeah, I'll just have a quick look, because I think it is important. James Justin has 1 year left. 1 year left. Keep JJ, keep wages, 1 year left. We need to stop letting players go on a free. So I think that means sell. That guy 98 says sell. Danky says sell. Let's put him in sell at right price, because again, just like there will be more, but if we did get a good offer, because not everyone's right price is the same price. So if we got offered, I don't know, 15 million, let's say, for Justin, or 10 million for Justin, then that might be something to think about there. Sell, we have the cover there. Yeah, it's not our lightest position, which is funny because back in December we literally had one fit fullback at the club, which was JJ. So yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Bouba Samare. Now, you can say in the chat, I think there's going to be a lot of sells in the chat. And Neil, I am going to say it. I want to put him in sell, like the bottom category here. I just think it's like Daka, which we'll get onto later, although that's a bit of a different situation now because of the lack of strikers. But, he's had so many chances. He kind of makes an impact for a few weeks and then he vanishes again. He never seems interested. Again, I think he's got 1 year left potentially. I would just sell him now, would you?
Yeah, I think we said this last time round as well. And I seem to remember saying that there's always the argument, oh, is there a player in there? And I said that I've finally come to the sort of feeling that I don't think there's a player in there. He's too inconsistent. He's had a lot of time to show it now. He's been around sort of top level, both Spanish and now English football for a while. He's been in 2 relegated teams, didn't really light out that much at Sevilla either. Otherwise, they would have signed him. So, sell. Let him go back to France. He might have a good career over there, but I think his era is past him now. He's no longer that hot rising player that could come, French international. Nah, just sell him.
Just a little update whilst we've been on stream, by the way. It is TalkSport, so take it with a pinch of salt. So we signed El Kanous last summer for 20 million. The release clause apparently is 22.5 million. And there's 5 clubs interested in him: Sunderland, Nottingham Forest, Everton, West Ham, and Monaco. They're the 5 clubs. 22.5 million. I would say that means he's gone. But anyway, we'll talk about Bilal
sell-on
shortly.
clause as well. So that means we won't make any profit. So it'll be basically, if relegated, you sell him for what you bought him for. So Rodconomics. So you agreed with sell for Samare. Ethan, Ragsy, do either of you disagree? Samare, sell?
No, I agree. So I think it's the toss-up between him and Winks. And despite what's happened to Winks over the past few months and stuff, I think we know a bit more about him as to what we're really going to get in the Championship next season with what happened under Enzo, especially now Marty's appointed. We don't really know what we're going to get with Samari. On the day, he just looks like prime Yaya Toure, but then, then he'll just dither about and not look interested. And you need someone that's more reliable. And for me, Winks is more reliable and he's just more established at this level. So when we're comparing the two, so I'd rather sell him. I actually think he'd be easier to sell than Winks compared to knowing that he's had that loan away at Sevilla. So I think that would have done him some good to gouge some interest. So yeah, sell.
Ethan, do you agree? Because I mean, somebody says here, Sean says sell. He actually has value, and I don't know how much value he actually has, but I suppose compared to some of the other players, he does. But yeah, what's your take on this one?
I think his value is like 7-8 million, so definitely some value there. If we're being consistent with the list, we're keeping Winks. We have to get rid of Booba. It's just the way that the cookie crumbles. I think I have a vision for Booba succeeding, but I don't think he has that same vision. And
you've got the vision. He hasn't. He hasn't.
And it's disappointing because when we initially signed him, I remember I told everyone, I said, "Oh, we're signing this French under 21s guy who's gonna light it up," and it never really happened. But yeah, I think Sean is right. He has value, so definitely put him in sell.
Okay, up next is Luke Thomas. So another fullback here. This will be interesting. Well, we rejected an offer of £5 million for him in January. I would have said £5 million was the right price, to be honest, to sell Luke Thomas.
I think it's generous.
I think there's a lot of revisionism, if that's a word, going on with Luke Thomas. I think because people see how bad Victor Christiansen is, they kind of like to make out that Luke Thomas is just levels above. I think they're both very poor. I would rather that both of them left. I just don't think we'll get rid of both. I do think we will sell Victor. So on that basis, I'm going to say stick with Luke. Although, do I say sell it? No, I'm going to say sell it right price. Fuck it. Sell it right price. Anil, over to you, mate.
Yeah, exactly the same. I think we probably can't sell both him and Victor. I mean, you could make an argument that we could, but I think that's dangerous. But I think the way that the club as well has got all those videos about a day in the life of, and it's Luke Thomas and his 5 IQ showing us his house and his dog, it's going to be Luke that probably stays. It's all right. But yeah, I mean, you're right. We should have sold them in January. I think that was stupid that we didn't do that.
Yeah. Ethan, what's your thoughts on Luke Thomas, mate? There's a lot of people saying keep, but this has been a theme in our live chat for quite some time. A lot of people who watch BTG do like Thomas, but yeah, what do you think?
He's a very dividing player, but I think sell at the right price. I think if you get a good offer for him, you have to take it. But he's useful to have around, right? He has something about him that he wants to fight to be in the team, and I think that's can be useful. But if there is an offer there that looks, pretty good, you have to take it. So sell at right price for me.
Ragsy, Luke Thomas, what are you saying, mate?
Put things this way, I'd sell him for a pack of stale Walker's crisps. That's
there you go.
Like we don't need it.
I got some stale Valley salted here.
Oh my god, unopened, bruv. That's if you ever open them, there's stench out of that, man. There's a great memorabilia. Honestly, like I love that. I think I still got mine, but then I ate it when I got back. But honestly, coming back onto him, we don't need him. We didn't need him last time in the Championship. He completely tanked out at Sheffield United and then at Middlesbrough as well, where he was just and he's a mid-table level Championship left back. Just because he looks like he could do a bit of a fight, just because he runs about a bit, does not give him justification to be playing at a football club of this size. Like, and he's been pretty fortuitous being promoted into the pathway at the time. We're all behind him. We all wanted him to do well. He's had so many chances here to go and develop, like to be like an actual good player and stuff. And he was like getting interest from like West Ham at the time. And I'm thinking, oh my God, brilliant. We could sell. And we just refuse to. And we latch onto the fact that these guys actually try. Give it like he's blocking the pathway for the youth to then come into the team, the likes of a Jordan, like a Luco as well. And I want them to be given their first, second chances. He's had too many chances. And for me, any price, I don't care. Just move him on. Sell for me.
Yeah, I mean, I personally, let me just end it with this. I think that if you got, let's just knock it down a bit because he's got even less on his contract. I reckon you could sign a left back for £3 million that's better than Luke Thomas.
I mean, Judd Rodkin in chat says we rejected bids of 4 million. What are you doing, John? You're the one that rejected it.
Ban him from the chat, please. Honestly, I know it's not him, but please, it just pisses me off. I mean, look, we talk about the May. He's free, like on our scouting report as well. There's one for free.
This is what I'm saying, and I think there are gems out there, right? There are players out there for £3 million. I mean, we signed Woyo for £3 million. We haven't seen enough of him yet, of course, but I reckon he's probably better than Luke Thomas.
Yeah, I mean, let's see. But I mean, I wouldn't put past us giving him another contract this season. You know it in your bones that is the sort of thing that will happen. So watch out.
Yeah. We're going to put him in. Yeah, Max Lowe. There you go. Fucking hell. Yeah. Let's move on. We've got Patson Daka. Now I'm going to start us off here, lads. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to say keep just because we have no other strikers. I never in my life thought I would be sat here saying Patson Daka, keep him. But we haven't got any other strikers. We've got no strikers. I don't want Daka to start, but if we buy a striker, we need somebody as backup. And I don't think Jordan Ayew should be the answer. I think we need a out-and-out striker, a recognised striker as backup. And for another year, Patson Daka, I don't know, Anil, talk to me. What do you think?
I would sell. And that's quite a departure from what I've said in the past. If Danny Roll was the manager, I'd keep him because I think his sort of more crash bang Red Bull style would have suited Patson Daka because it would be less about linking a play and more about picking up the pieces. But Marty Cifuentes, I talked about the idea maybe of having a false nine yesterday or a technical forward that can link up with the other players. Daka can't do that. He said it himself yesterday. He's got the touch of a donkey. We can only buy if we sell players. That means we've got to sell some. So why not sell Patson Daka? I think there are other people in a team that could do the job, including Jordan Ayew. Maybe Jake Evans could do it. Maybe we don't even have a striker. You know, it sounds crazy, but Man City won the Premier League without having a striker, right? When they played a false nine, it can be done that way. And to be honest with you, I think we won't buy another striker, but I think we'll loan one. I think it'll be easy for a club like Leicester to get a promising, up-and-coming striker from a pretty good club. It could be one of Chelsea's 10 million strikers. If not, there's plenty of other ones. For example, I'll give you one. Will Lancashire, who was Premier League Player of the Season 2 years ago at Spurs, he probably won't be playing. You could loan out someone like that easy and get him into the team. So, yeah, I think we should just get someone else in, make some money off him. And the main reason, even if he is our only striker at the moment, is that he is not a good striker in terms of linking the play. So I think he's not going to work that well in the Cifuentes system. He did improve in that aspect a lot under Enzo, but by the end, Vardy just took his spot again. So that's why for me, I would sell him.
Ethan, Rugsy, are you both going with sell?
Yeah, so if it was Danny Roll, if it was more of a, I don't want to say kick and rush, but more of that rock and roll football, that Red Bull sort of brand, I could see him, doing a good job. But yeah, I just don't see him doing or having the same impact. And I think the money that we could get for him is more than what he could provide on the pitch or off the bench. I'm sure it's not that expensive to get a new water boy in. So yeah, I'd sell him.
Rugsy, any complaints with selling Daka?
Honestly, I'm flip-flopping in my mind today. I was probably on your stance with with
No, I've
saying
changed my
sell.
mind. I've
That's
changed
the
my
thing,
mind.
honestly.
No, I've changed-
It might change my mind in 10 minutes or something. But after hearing Anil and Ethan, I'm like, actually, yeah, sell. Just square it. Especially if we can, now that we've got the manager in, we can exploit the loan market maybe, or just free agent or whatever. But like, I think maybe as well, and this is kind of in any position, I think it's just like, in terms of our bozo gene, as much as we can eradicate out of this football club as possible, like the better. And we just need to move on. And just sometimes having new players in that aren't like, you know, traumatized by past events that's happened at this club, it can actually be a good thing here. So the wages he's on as well, we full well know, like, we're not really interested in like re-signing him on a new deal, like when it comes to next season, whatever league that we're in. So yeah, probably just for the sake of wage bill, and we're just not seeing.
Can I ask though? Do you think he will be sold? Because that I think is the bigger issue. Like last time round, they're in the championship. He almost went to Bournemouth, but didn't. And has his stock risen since then? Probably not. So
it's fallen. It's fallen. I think so. Yeah. Let's keep him with low. By the way, Connor Cody. There were rumors he wanted to stay in the UK. To pursue his move to Rangers. He did get on that plane. I forensically watched it back about 10 times, and I did spot Connor Cody on the plane. So there we go. Right, up next we have Casey McAteer. It's interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna say again another one. £10 million bid for him in January. I thought that was the right price. They disagreed. Ruud van Nistelrooy in one of his interviews said that he was going to be vital to the second half of the season. He started about 4 games or 3 games after that. So Bozo, hold on, I forgot about the Bozo alarm. Here we go. John Rodkin in the chat. There you go, mate. Bozo. There's a lot of people saying keep. I would sell at right price. If we got another offer of £10 million for Casey McAteer this summer, I would snatch their hands off. However, I do understand the affection some people have for him. I understand, that this level, he'll be more than capable. He's homegrown. He knows the club, all of this. I understand all of this, but £10 million pure profit off PSR for a player who I don't think is good enough for the Premier League. If we get back there, I would sell at the right price. What are you saying? What are you saying, Anil?
I actually would keep him. I think that he probably would be worth more at the end of the season than he would be now, because I think he's going to have a big part to play this season. I think it's a good question that Josh put there in chat saying, where would he play? I think he'd probably play more in the inside rather than the outside this time out. I could even see him being playing as the false 9, right? Like, I mean, he was playing there for Ireland. I don't think he could be like an out-and-out striker, but he presses hard. He could drop back in, link the play a little bit. I could see him being utilised that way. As you kind of said, Locks, I think of any of our players, if the bid was large enough, you probably would take it. But I don't think we're going to get a bid for him because they would otherwise have been interested in him already. So, but I think he's a very useful squad player. I think he might even go beyond squad player. I think he could be a first-team player this season. So I would keep him personally.
Yeah, what's this I've just seen Foss Hub say about? So Foss Hub has tweeted, Justin, Leicester City are already actively lining up Connor Cody's replacement. And Foss Hub says, apparently we're in advanced talks with English experienced centre-back to replace Cody. So
no.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ. What are you saying, Ethan, on Casey McAteer, mate? Where are you leaning?
I'm a big fan of Casey, especially I think in the last couple of games of the season. I think he really stepped up. I'd keep him. I'd keep him. I think he can play. I always talked about him as a number 9 or as a false 9. You can play on the right. Enzo used him off the left. So he's got versatility. He's played in the championship before. I think I'll keep him.
Ragsy, Casey McAteer.
I'd keep, to be honest. This is an odd shout, but I reckon, I think it was with Republic of Ireland that I saw him play as a number 9. So in terms of the lack of strikers at the minute, I think he could certainly do a job there, especially in the championship as well. And I think heading into this season, I like his mannerisms. I like his the fact that he's always willing and has that endeavour to sort of run into the box, whether it's late and times his runs and just be involved in the action and stuff. I think he's actually used. I don't think we have a lot of players like that. We have players that, strikers that are just allergic to the box. So, and he's actually willing to do it and put himself about there. So I think for the sake of this season, I would keep. And also I think I have full faith. I think that his stock will rise come the end of this season. So then maybe good news, if we do get promoted to the Prem, a good offer comes in, then at that point I'd consider selling. But I think for this season, I'll probably keep.
We're going to go through this next one quick because I'm cautious of the time here. I think this one falls into the exact same category as Wilfred Ndidi, and it is Mads Hermansson. Are we all in agreement that we think he's going to go? So let's stick him in, sell at right price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
is the valuation though?
I think we're only going to get 25 million for the man, to be honest with you.
Absolutely.
But we bought him for what, 3? It's a lot of profit. He's going to go anywhere. He's going to want to go. I think we've got Jakob, who's a capable replacement. Before Christmas, it looked like we could have demanded 40, 50 million. And I think if we were still a Premier League team, we stayed up and he'd continued that form until the end of the season, then I think we probably had an argument there. But I don't know about you, Anil. I don't think, he didn't. I don't know. How much do you think we could get for him? I think it's about 25.
Yeah, that's what Jordi Petrovic went for. Then he just went to Bournemouth from Chelsea for that amount of money. He was on loan at Strasbourg. So I don't think you're going to get more than that. I think it might be a bit less than what you're thinking. It'll probably be 20 million. And I think the deal will get done for that amount. Yeah, what Fossab just put there.
It is a lot. I don't
see the point in selling then. At 20 million, this is one of our biggest assets that we've got. I'd keep him. And then, nurturing him and develop him. But
then we have then we get no money.
Ragsy, it's more that we as a fan base overestimate what goalkeepers go for. Yeah, there have been a few exceptions like Alisson, Edison, Kepa, Onana maybe. But a lot of those players have been playing in Champions League semi-finals and things like that. That Petrovic is your marker, right? If you're going to say that this player who's a USA international who's been playing for a team that got into Europe and France on the books for Chelsea, he's gone for 25 million. I don't see how you can say a keeper who isn't the Danish number one, who's just been playing for a relegated team, goes for more than that. Your argument, I guess, is to keep him for longer, and he might be worth more than that. But I don't think you're going to see I think we've got it in our head. I think we're just a bit delusional that because we've seen Fofana and Maguire that we can get those prices for everyone. But goalkeepers don't often do that. It's very rare that someone gets those sort of prices.
It's the fact that it's Chelsea and it's the fact that it's Enzo and knowing full well that Sanchez is an absolute bozo there. So they're going to be looking at a goalkeeper that will be their number one. And clearly it's of vital importance that if they go for him, that it will get him. Chelsea have just gone out there and won the Club World Cup and have got £100 million from that tournament. So yes, it's a stupid valuation and we may never likely see it, but I'd hold out, especially if it was the case that he's got 2 years left, then our bargaining stance is just very weakened and stuff. But right now, if we keep shortchanging these clubs, with how much greed that they've got, they're just going to keep on taking the piss out of us in the future. So we're never really going to get really good valuations. And that's how you've got to build up your stance again. So I'd be in the position to be and as well, we've only got 2 senior goalkeepers. So we would have to reinvest that. And we're not really going to...
That's right, Begovic is out there.
We're not going to be able to go and replace him with that level of quality anyway.
Well, I think the argument... I hear what you're saying. There's another comment here about, well, look how much we sold Kane and Dewsbury Hall for. But I'm sorry to break the news to you. We were a Premier League team when we sold Dewsbury Hall. We are not a Premier League team now. We only got 40 million for Maddison, which is basically 30 because we spent 10 on Winks. Harvey Barnes went for what, 35 was it in the end?
Yeah.
You could have argued both of them players could have gone for more. I just think, the price is going to be lowered. I agree. I think £30 million is a fair valuation. I just don't think we'll get that. But anyway, he is going to leave. We assume we'll stick him in that category. The next one, he has been in the rumour space today, and it's Caleb Okoli. What are we all saying? Anil, let's come to you first, mate. Caleb Okoli, because there's rumours today that Leicester might look to sell him in order to raise transfer funds. Some would argue he's the best defender at the club. Some argue that last season. What are your thoughts on him?
I'd keep, but maybe we won't do it. But I would keep him, yeah. I think he's, decent enough on the ball, especially in the Championship. He's got the physicality. I think he'd be a monster in this division. But I wouldn't be surprised if he's one of those players like, there's no way I'm playing in a Championship, so he's gone.
What are you saying, Ethan?
Yeah, keep him. I think, like Anil said, he's got the physicality. He's got, I think, the mentality. Right, he wants to succeed. The only problem is he fighting? Is he going to stand a fighting chance for that World Cup next year? So keep him. I think if there's an offer that comes in January, I could see him being tempted to move away. But yeah, for all purposes, keep him. I think he's going to be brilliant.
Ragsy, Caleb Okoli?
Keep for me. I like a lot about him. Even with the limited game time that he had last season and stuff, I think he's got some good traits about him, especially for the Championship. I mean, there was that 30 million valuation. Like, if we did get that, then cool. Then maybe we could reinvest that and do something, but we won't get that. So, and I think I really like the partnership with Okoli and Nelson. So I'd like to see where that's going. So yeah, keep for me.
There's people saying it is actually Craig Dawson, which would be just fucking typical. I don't know if it's true. Where have you seen that, Elm? Let us know, unless you're just joking. But yeah, we'll put Okoli in keep. Up next is Victor Christensen. I'm gonna just do us all a favor here and stick him in sell. This guy didn't want to stick around. This one didn't want to stick around last time we got relegated. He was here for 6 months and he decided he wanted to leave on loan. A bit like Samari as well. That happened to Samari. I don't want any loan outgoings this summer. I don't want any of this option to buy like the Spanish and the Italian clubs do, because they don't want to actually commit to paying us money. I'm going to say just fucking get rid, sell him at all costs. Is anybody disagreeing with us there? Anybody?
Nope.
No. Okay, we can move on quickly with that one. Sorry, Doc. We're not giving the Danes airtime tonight, although we might do actually. We've got one in a couple times. So, Woyo Koulibaly. I'll come to you first, Anil. I would say keep, but yeah, I'll come to you.
Keep. I mean, it only costs 3 million. I mean, we have never even really seen play, so keep him. Yeah.
Yeah, Ethan, Woyo Koulibaly, because Anil's right. I mean, we saw him very, 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 very briefly. He started. He got his first, and I want to say his only start. I don't know if that's true. His only start against Brentford, where he did okay. He had a rash challenge at the end of the half. He got booked, and he got dragged at half time and didn't play again. Really, which I thought was very unfair. Maybe, just maybe he is total fucking shit. Like maybe he is just really bad. But we don't know because we haven't seen enough of him. So what are you saying with Woyo, Ethan?
I can't see any clubs coming in for him. I think we haven't seen enough of him as well. So, yeah, Woyo, I think he's got the potential. I don't want to say potential because he's 25. He's entering his prime. I think in the next 2 years we might see the best out of him. So yeah, for me, keep. I think he can play on the left, can play on the right. He's very two-footed. And I think Marty will enjoy working with him, so I'd keep him.
Any
different opinion there, Ragsy, on Woyo? I think we all agree, right? We should keep him.
Yeah, keep for me. Yeah, want to see more of him. Yeah, so hopefully he can thrive under Marty.
Brilliant stuff. Okay. I mean, there's no fucking explanation needed here.
Yeah,
Abdul Fatawu, still obviously not back on the pitch playing yet. Still going through his rehab, but star boy Abdul, we don't really need to discuss. We will discuss him later in the season when he's back, of course. We'll have a full glazing session when he returns, but we don't need to talk about it because, yeah, it's we all know we want to keep him. Okay, another man who dropped down to the Championship last time and performed excellently, and on return to the Premier League turned into a bag of shit again and went missing, other than when he was walking his dog around Seagrave. Yannick Vestergaard, Anil, what are you saying?
Sell, but he's not going anywhere, and he's going to be on that bench all season long. Might even get some games, but yeah, sell.
Ethan, Yannick?
Try get a loan for him. At least some of the wages also. Like, come on. There needs to be a club in Belgium, Anderlecht or someone that's willing to take a punt on him. I mean, weren't Anderlecht employing Vertonghen, and he was 38. So, what's Vestergaard? I try learn him. I can't see him leaving. But I think if you're asking my personal opinion, yeah, sell.
Yeah, Ragsy, agree?
Can we bring back the terminate categories?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, just sell if we can. But yeah, how on earth do we get rid of him? I have no idea. So,
well, there's rumors from somebody in our live chat, like not all season, but for like months, that he keeps bumping into Yannick Vestergaard at Loughborough train station, and he did once ask him, "When are you leaving?" And he went, "When somebody pays my wages." Basically, that was how the conversation went, apparently. But okay. Connor Cody, I mean, on the face of it, when we got relegated and we signed him, I think a lot of people expect him to play every game for us, to be honest, in the Championship, with losing Soyuncu and obviously Fofana the year before. He just never worked for him at Leicester, unfortunately. Wout Faes and Vestergaard kept him out of the team. If those two players are keeping you out of a team, you are in trouble. Does anybody want to make a case for Connor Cody staying?
keep the show moving. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, apparently Leicester City do have him in the sell category, not the sell at right price category, because we heard that it's a cut price deal, basically, that we're letting him leave. I think he doesn't want to be here because he does get, he gets a lot of abuse. We don't like him. He don't like us, probably. So he's too busy twerking for fucking Wolves every time he played them and posting photos up and stuff like that. Manny says move him to the marketing department. Now, that's not a bad idea, actually. No. Yeah, he'd have some success there. At least they'd actually speak. Okay, Bobby D. Cordova-Reid and Nil. What are you saying for this one, mate?
Sell, but you're not going to sell him, so he's going to be part of the squad, I think, again.
Ethan, I saw you saw some action there. What's going on, mate? Do you disagree?
Nah, I agree. You have to try and sell him, though. I think at least make an attempt to offer him out to clubs. Yeah, I don't think he'll leave, but if he's really ambitious, if he really wants to play, then I think he'll look for a move. But is that Bobby Cordova-Reid for you? I don't know.
Ragsy?
Sell, easy sell. And if he does stay, you can use him as Monga's dummy, so he can build his confidence in terms of dribbling past him. But just sell. AC says awful footballer. Sell, the kids are better, says Faladath. Loan if we can't shift. We have young blood in this position. John Rudkin says Leuven already have better wingers. Yeah, I think I'll agree with you there. Bobby Reid in sell. Bilal El Kanouche. What are we saying, guys? Because obviously, if we're going with the earlier logic, we'd put him in the same category as Mads and Wilf because we kind of think he's going to go. But it feels wrong to put Bilal El Kanouche in there. Anil, what do you think we should do, mate?
You still have to put him in there because at the end of the day, he is the James Maddison of the season. We got relegated last time. Doesn't matter if you want to keep him, you ain't going to keep him. We know that his agent's pouring him out everywhere. He's gone. Yeah.
We just spoke about it literally half hour ago. £22.5 million release clause, allegedly. Sunderland, Forest, West Ham, Monaco, Everton, all interested, allegedly. Ethan, there's not really much chance of keeping him around this summer, is there?
No, I think he'll go, and it's a shame to see it. But yeah, that sell at the right price is, I want to put emphasis on the right price. It just seems that we're offering him out a bit undervalued, but economics. So yeah, you have to put him next to Mads there. It's disappointing, I think, for the whole club because to get a player of his technical ability, for 20 million in this market is special. So whoever is scouting in Belgium, keep doing your job. Finance the next Bilal Al Khanous for half the price, please. Thank you.
Foster, are you telling me to shush or are you telling me to say what you told me? That's unclear. What you're saying, because you told me not to tell anyone earlier, but now you're bringing it up. So, anyway, moving on. Oliver Skip. Ragsy, I'll come to you first on Oliver Skip, mate. I know we've got to remember something with Oliver Skip. We paid £20 million for him. If we sell him for even £10 million, it's a loss on the PSR this in this PSR window. We would need to sell him for, what is it, Anil? 15 million we would need to sell him for just to break even on PSR. Where are we putting him, Ragsy? I mean, I'd lean more towards sell at right price just on that basis. But or would you keep him because you think maybe you think he could do a job in the Championship? What are you saying?
I think maybe, just maybe, like he may not be as bad as he looks. Right now he looks absolutely terrible, but maybe new regime, new system. He can run about, like he has some bits to him, and we have seen this from him before. He is still 23. It is a ridiculously stupid signing, and like maybe it would be wise to sort of cut our losses in the end. But I think we got to try and like get his stock back up somehow. So maybe, if we move forward and just trial him for this season. So I'll probably weirdly, I'd say keep, just to try and get his stock back up, because I think maybe he has some uses for us next season. I don't think he's a shoo-in for the first team straight away, but I think maybe if Marty can get him on board, I think there could be something to him, and then maybe we could get a reasonable fee.
Anil, Oliver Skip, after all the analysis that you've been doing and research into Marty Ball, let's call it, is there a place for him? Would you keep him this summer?
I'm sure a lot of you just saw that video with Cifuentes and the players, and he gave Oliver Skip a massive slap on the arse, proper slap. So I would be surprised if he's planning on using him this season, and that might even have been part of the interview of like, what are you going to be doing with our players that we've invested in? I think when we bought him, we all kind of thought that he probably was signed actually for this season rather than last. Look, I agree with everyone. I would sell him. I wouldn't say he's like absolutely awful. I could see in this division him being quite good, but I agree the fact is the amount of money we spent, you expect him to be way better in the Premier League, like what Bilal showed, what Facundo Buonanotte showed, and Skip was nowhere close to those two players, even if he plays a different position. But I think he is going to play, so get used to it.
Ethan, what are you saying? Because Faladath makes a good point here. We can't take the hit. PSR will kill us again. And also, Sam says it's not like he's 13 over the hill. He is still quite young. Although yeah, exactly. Yeah, he looks it. Yeah.
Oh, how much is he on wages wise?
I'd know.
Say low.
Relatively low compared to what we've got.
Should we loan a £20 million player out? I don't know about that.
Listen. Burnley and Oliver Skip. Have you ever seen a more romantical relationship in football? Okay, I'd loan him out. I think a newly promoted team could use him if they stay up, because Brentford are hiring a set piece coach as the manager. They can keep him for 15 million.
Yeah.
That's not as bad as I thought it would be. Argument, very quickly.
Yeah.
Kiernan, like in the last season that we had in the Premier League, absolutely tragic, and then he ended up.
You're going to get slated for.
I know. I'm slating myself as it is, and it sickens me saying this, but I'm like, just for the sake of PSR, that's the only thing I'm thinking. The minute we step back in the Prem, he's gone on loan, sell, whatever. But for this season.
I'm going to. Hey, Manny, mate, I've got news for you. That's not even the worst, mate. There's many more that are worse than that right now. So he's not even the problem. I'm gonna say keep here, just on the basis that, look, a new manager. I think players do deserve fresh starts, especially when it's really your first fresh start. Like, We know Samari and Daka have had fresh starts. But also, as I said, the PSR, his book value is 15 million. We would need to get 15 million to not take a PSR hit. We're not going to get 15 million for Oliver Skip. So I would say keep him for now. Just imagine, I'm not saying this is going to happen, and I actually don't think it will happen, but imagine he had a quality year. Imagine he was incredible. There is a chance that you can make some money back in the summer next year. So let's keep him in keep for now, but that may change. Right, Steffi Mavididi and Anil.
Keep.
Yeah, anyone disagree?
Nope.
No.
Easy keep.
Yep, there we go. Straight in, nice and quick. Yeah, I'm not saying he will be incredible. I don't think he will be. I think he's going to be shit, to be honest, now the more I think about it. But still, let's just wait and see. Let's wait and see. Jakub Stalacic, I think we know the answer to this one as well, because especially where we've got Mads, I think we can just put him straight in there. Keep the keeper. Jordan Ayew, Anil. Let me come to you first. Jordan bloody Ayew. Now,
let's let the others go
away.
first. Saki go first with this one. I'm interested to see what they have to say.
Let's go to Ethan. Ethan first. Go on.
I don't think he's the worst option to have in the squad. I hate myself for saying that. We've seen him take good set pieces. The free kick against Southampton where it hit the wall and went in, and recently the corner where the wind helped it in. So I think he
meant it. He meant it.
he will prop up with I say 5-6 goals this championship season. I can see him coming on and seeing out a game. I think that's the best use of him. I don't see him leaving, so I think he has to be a keep.
Ragsy, Jordan Ayew, Chugosaurus Rex. What are you saying for him?
I'm trying to just look at the player, and he does score goals, and he could be useful, and we don't have a lack of strikers. But then I look to him. I just don't know what it is. I can't stand it. I can't do it. It's so easy. I can't. I try. I listen to your reasons, and it does make sense. And we do need strikers and stuff, and he has experience. But there's just things with him that just piss me off. All right. And remember the preseason game against Luton, and it's and he's talking to Michael. What are you chatting him to? Why are you giving him advice? What the fuck have you done in your career to be like this sort of messiah and this sort of lead for players and stuff? You've done fuck all. You've been a reject at Palace and Swansea, and you look about the best thing you've ever done is 63 when you're 33. That's it. So, but yeah, it's one more year of this bullshit, man.
I understand it. Go on, Anil. Knowing Marty Ball a bit better now, would he fit that? Because somebody in the chat did say that they thought he would fit Marty Ball, but what are you saying?
I think he could fit Marty Ball. I don't know who's going to buy him. That's what it comes down to, doesn't it? But as crazy as it sounds, I think you could make an argument to say that he was probably our best signing last year after Bilal. But if you look at how many goals and contributions he got, I mean, that summarises our season, Ragsy. We got relegated with 5 games to go. That is... And one of the reasons why we got relegated with 5 games to go is that Jordan Ayew probably was our best signing over the summer, but it doesn't stop the fact that he might well be
second highest goal scorer or something.
Yeah.
But
put it this way: out of Bobby Reid, Skip, him, I think he's the best of those players, even though he's not particularly good. So I would still sell him if we could get a buyer, or I probably would just loan him out of his wages and accept it isn't going to be, because I'm not sure he wants to play in the championship. But I think if he is here, he'll probably do quite a good job, in my opinion. I think he actually is got more quality than people think he has. So you decide, Locks, where you want to put him.
I think if we got a couple million for him, I'd probably sell him. So I'd put him in there. To be honest with you, we paid 7, which is just crazy. So if we got 2-3 million, I would say take it at 33 years old. Right, moving on. Actually, we don't need to discuss this one. There he goes, Wout fast. The clown into the sell category.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got some nice ones to talk about now. So we've got the youngsters, and then we've got a couple at the end. So the J-Dog, the Jezza Monga. Are we all in agreement here? Let's just stick him straight in keep. We don't want to loan him out. Anybody? Does anybody want to make the case for loaning out Jeremy Monga?
Hell no.
No.
Nope. Okay. Nice one.
Need him.
Bade Aluko, what do you want to do with him this summer? So the next few, we're not going to. I mean, they're not going to be going and sell at right price or sell. They're going to be keep or loan. Bade Aluko is slightly older. He is 18 years old. So yeah, no, crazy, so old.
So old.
What are you thinking, Anil? Would you keep Bade Aluko in the squad? Seeing as though we've put both Justin, Thomas and Victor in one of the sell categories, or would you look to loan out?
That's
Bade?
one of the reasons why, isn't it? I'd almost suggest having another category, which is keep and play for some of these youngsters, like Jeremy Wonga. And I have to say, I actually think Aluko has been the most impressive in pre-season so far. Because considering he only really came on, I think, for 10 minutes at the end of last season, we couldn't really get a good glimpse of him. But he's playing in multiple positions, like both a centre-back. I didn't realise he could do that. He could play at either side. He looks wicked. He's really fast. He's strong. He's been dribbling out and driving out. So this is the important thing, I think, with some of these youngsters, is that if we're going to keep them, the worst thing we can do is what we did with Will Alves and Michael Golding last season, where they've been kept around, but they're not even playing. They need to get given game time. And so that's why with Aluko, he's got to be in that team and he's got to be playing. If, let's say, after 10, 15 games, it looks like he can't handle it, okay, we can think about it then. But I think a player like this has got to be trusted and they've got to play. And he looks really, really good in a really important position for us.
Yeah. People talking about Page and Wanya. We're not finished yet. I did forget Wanya though, so I'll mention him at the end. But Ethan, would you agree? Keep Bade Aluko in the squad, not loan.
Yeah, no, I think he earned the right to play, right? I think you want players, especially from the academy, to come in and showcase their abilities, especially in preseason. I think he's done that. Yeah, if you're good enough to make the team in the Premier League, you're good enough to make the team in the Championship. So I'd expect him to be playing, and I'd expect him to be doing really well. I think he's probably the next one that we're gonna sell. Monga, give him time. I think we can only sell him when he's 17, 18. But I think Aluko, give him this season in the Championship. And his valuation will be 30, 40 million. So I really like the look of him. I think he's going to do really well this season. Keep for me.
Ragsy, would you agree with us all? Keep Bade Aluko around?
Yeah, play him. I think he's it really has been a real huge development for us in pre-season already. And I think his physicality, my word, it's been hitting the gym, also the protein, the jollof rice, all sorts, man. Yeah, I think he's ready. I think he's ready from what I've seen, and just surpassed Thomas and Christensen already. I'd rather see him in the team than them. So easy keep.
Yeah, I disagree with this, Scott. I don't think, maybe one or two, but I don't think the majority. I mean, Anil, you said that some of them have actually they've graduated to the first team, right? Evans and Monga.
They definitely have. They're literally right now in the first team squad on those pages. So yeah, 3 have graduated for sure. The others we don't know about yet.
Okay. Up next is Lewis Page. So there were rumors last week about whether he was going to sign on or not. He hasn't signed a contract yet. There was a Footy Insider article saying that he had rejected Leicester. He then himself was messaging somebody on Instagram, a Leicester fan, and said, no, I haven't rejected. I'm negotiating. He's been impressive in pre-season too. I think he struggled a little bit in the Leuven game, but still wasn't the worst of performers. The first game, he was incredible. What was it? An assist? 2 goals and an assist? Sure, two goals. So I'll come to you first, Ethan. What are you saying for Lewis Page? Would you loan him out if he does sign a deal, or would you keep him around as well? Because I feel like it is very tempting to keep them all just so that you're looking after them. You know what I mean? You're not letting them go off and play. You know what I mean? But yeah, what would you say for Lewis Page?
He's only 16, isn't he? So I think loaning him out now, I don't think that helps him.
I think he's 17 now, Lewis Page.
17. Great age. So
this nonsense.
No, so are you?
So no, I think he won't be starting week in, week out, right? I think he'll have to settle for minutes off the bench or a more rotation sort of playing time. But no, I think he'll be able to come in and do a job. If he needs to play a bit deeper, if he needs to play a bit more advanced, I think he has the skill set and the football IQ to do that. So yeah, I'd keep him. If say by January he's not getting the amount of game time that he'd want, I'd loan him then.
And Ragsy, what did you think, mate?
Yeah, this Drake behavior from you lot today, honestly. There's a report here. Anyway. But I probably agree with Ethan being like, keep him for now, but renegotiate his contract. And just for the sake of having him around in the squads, I think maybe, having him in the academy and stuff around the first team might not actually be a bad idea. And then, if he sort of improves his physicality, and then maybe there's like for half a season, then he could go on like loan in January if he's really not getting the game time and he's ready to take that step, then do it then. But yeah, I think for now, I'd keep.
Anil, in agreement with that?
I'm a bit disagreement here because I think with him, he's on trial now till the end of the transfer window. And I think based on how he does, it's either he's kept in the squad, which means he's going to be playing games like a minimum of 20 games this season. If he's not going to get those 20 games, he needs to be loaned. I don't want to see him wasting away just playing in the academy. I think he's ready for first team football now. He's showing it. And like I say, I'm just scared that we're going to do another Alves Golding and then waste him. And that's the thing. Even though we've got all these youngsters, as crazy as it sounds, we've in some ways got too many youngsters. There's only so many positions on the pitch. So who are the ones that we're going to play and actually develop as part of the team? I think this guy looks so promising. Like I was surprised how good he looks. Like very intelligent, super good, left-footed as well. That's really, really promising. But like I say, I think even if it's League One or something like that, it'd be better for him to get a full season and playing as many games as possible to really kind of push for it. But I wouldn't surprise me if he does make the squad. I think someone like Cifuentes might like what he sees. So I think I'd actually keep him because I think some of the others might go out on loan instead.
Yeah, let's leave him in there for now. Up next, I don't think this isn't really one we need to discuss. Ben Nelson, everybody, we're all in agreement that we wanted him to be the starting centre back next season for us, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Brilliant
Easy
stuff. Easy keep. Although there are rumours that Chelsea are sniffing around.
I was going to say.
Just saying, future captain. Yeah. I reckon even Chelsea. I know Chelsea are rash. I know Chelsea like to dive in, but I think even Chelsea might give it a year and see how he gets on with us this season. But yeah, let's wait and see. Right. Sammy Braybrook. Now, it's interesting. Sammy Braybrook and Will Alves. Let's do these two as a pair. Sammy Braybrook and Will Alves. Because at one point they were, the next big things at Leicester City. Both had ACL injuries, which is just horrific. Both of them, I think their development obviously was halted because of those injuries. Let me come to you first, Ethan. What are you saying for these two, mate? Take whichever one you want first. What would you say for Alves and Braybrook?
I haven't really seen Braybrook play first team football. Obviously, he was on loan at Dundee, but he also didn't really get game time there. I think he's, like Anil said, he's on trial, right? He's either going to be in the first team or he has to be loaned out. I thought he was going to be the next big thing. Could he be the wings replacements in 2-3 years time? Maybe, but I just don't think he's ready for this season for the way that we want to play. So I'd loan him out.
Anil, he obviously was on loan at, I want to say Dundee. Didn't really get on too well there. I think he's been pretty invisible in pre-season as well, if I'm completely honest. He is older than the others, of course. He's older than the Lewis Page and all of that. However, you do get these late bloomers. This is getting a bit weird now with all this weird young talk, but yeah, you do get these late bloomers. And Keenan Dewsbury Hall was kind of late. He was later than the likes of Monger and Aluko. So as the comment says, you just brought up, maybe you loan him out, get a load of games, and when he comes back, he's a different player. What do you think?
I would sell, but I don't think we will be able to sell, so he probably will be loaned. But again, we've got too many players, I think, especially for that CDM position. But I'm not sure if Hamza's on your list, but you've got Hamza, you've got Booba, you've got Wings, you've got Skip maybe. I just don't see him getting any game time. So I think it'd be best for him as well. It's like, you need to start your career properly at his sort of age. You've got to be playing week in, week out somewhere.
Ethan, what are you saying, mate?
Oh, for Sammy.
Oh, sorry, I already came to you. Sorry, Ragsy.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ragsy.
Yeah, I'm disagreeing with Neil a bit because, like, I think his priority at the minute, he just needs to play. Like, he had a crap loan at Dundee, barely played, and like, and I think, like, yeah, okay, we're stacked in positions at the minute, but like, we don't rate these guys that are currently here. Like, Winks is going to go in a year. Like, Skip, we don't really see a lot of future with, and Needy's eventually going to go. Samari's going to go. So, like, I wouldn't be hasty just to sort of like write them off the books like immediately. Find him a club that is actually going to play him and just have his development there. I think the only concern that you're looking at the minute is how do you make sort of like his profile like of a player as he is at the minute, how do you make it work in the Championship in the long run? How do you make it work in the Premier League if we ever get back there in terms of his physicality? But let's not be hasty with this. I'd probably put him in loan.
I mean, the drop off from Winks to Braybrook would be dramatic, in my opinion. I think that would be too much of a drop off in quality. Let's go with loan. Let's go with loan. Alves, Will Alves, was on loan at Cardiff for 6 months or whatever it was last season. The Cardiff fans seemed to like him. They were relegated though, and when he returned, there were. I don't know. People say they hyped Alves up. From what I saw, it was more 50-50. There was some that said he needs to focus less on step overs and more on kind of getting the ball into the box. Let's go to you, Ethan. What are you saying for Will Alves?
I think he's ahead of his development progress than Braybrook. I think he's more deserving of a start or of a place in the team. I could see him being not a key figure, but a useful squad option for us this season. I don't know whether that would be beneficial to him the most. I'm between keep and loan. I think he'll get the game time that he needs at Leicester, and I think it's better for him if he stayed than to be loaned out again, because I think if he's with Marty, I think Marty could turn him into more of that footballer that provides end product rather than all the tricks and flicks and all that. But then at the end of it, there's no pass or there's no shot or goal. So I think he'll develop a lot more under Cifuentes. So for me, keep.
And Neil, what you say for Will Alves? Because I remember like back in January before he got that move to Cardiff, there was something that was going around online where somebody moaned and slagged off the club for not loaning him out earlier.
Yeah.
And then his dad was liking those tweets. Will Alves' dad was liking those tweets. So yeah, what do you think for Will Alves? Because yeah, again, somebody put like I'm still unsure. I'm unsure on Will Alves. It's a shame. I think things might have been different if he hadn't have had the ACL injury. But right now, I'm not convinced.
Yeah, real sliding doors moment, that injury for him, unfortunately. To be honest with you, I think I would loan him out because I think you just got to be realistic and think about in your head with how many players you've got in our squad. Who are you playing and in what position? Are you playing him on the wing? Are you playing him in front of Mavadidi, Fatawu, Jeremy Monga, Jake Evans, Casey McAteer, Bobby Reed if he stays? So there's already a lot of people in front of him. If you're playing him in central midfield, you're going to play him ahead of Michael Golding. I think Lewis Page looked better than him already, etc., etc. So I think he needs game time, and I think he'll probably be loaned out. What I will say is, again, I think he'll be on trial between now and the transfer window, the 1st September. If he can play his way into the team and stay, great. We want him to do well. He's been hyped for a long time, but I don't see it. I think other people will be ahead of him. But I've got a feeling that unlike Braybrook, I think he still will be kept around as a squad player, and I think it might be a bit of a mistake. I think he should be again playing week in, week out somewhere. And even if he was only playing for Cardiff, at least he was getting game time somewhere.
What are you saying, Rugsy, with Will Alves? Because I'm leaning more towards loan, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not writing him off at the minute. Like, I know he's raw, and I know we haven't seen loads of him, and the injury was massive derailment for him. But like, still looking at his qualities, even from the glimpses that I see, he's an excellent ball carrier. That's hard to come by from like players out there that we could potentially go and get. I think there's a lot still there to develop with him. Yeah, the only thing is just I don't really know if we were to keep him in the squads, whether he would be like breaking through into the first team and whether that'd be a guarantee. And I don't want to hinder his development any further. So like, I think he did well, to be honest, last time getting that loan move to Cardiff in the Championship. Like that was his first loan as well. So it's like, so maybe it was a bit too much of a step up for him. I don't know, but you know, maybe just somewhere where we know he's going to play and like he can go out there and develop and stuff. So I'll probably say loan.
Okay, we've got 3 names left. Let's go through them. First one, actually, I think it's safe to say, because Harry Souttar's still injured and it's a serious injury. He's going to be injured for still some time. He will not be leaving this summer, Harry Souttar.
Where's Michael Golding locks? There's too many players in his squad.
I forgot Michael Golden as well. Yeah, I forgot Michael Golden.
Never-ending show.
The next one, we've got the next one's Wanya Marcel. Let's talk about this one. Anil, Wanya Marcel, what would you like to see happen to him?
Loan out or sell. Too many people ahead of him, unfortunately. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm thinking sell, to be honest with you. What are you saying, Ethan?
Sell at the right price. I think he's young enough to the point where he's got value, and you don't really want to just get rid of him like the other names that are there. So if he stays, useful squad option, but he's not really the main guy in the team. So I'd sell at the right price.
Ragsy, Wanya Marcel?
Yeah, I'd probably sell at the right price, unfortunately, for him. I wish him all the best if he does move on. I think, someone mentioned it in chat, like Ryan, 1 year left on his deal, apparently, 22. I think we've got to be a bit realistic here. So I'd probably sell at the right price.
Okay, Hamza Chowdhury. Anybody want to comment on him? We've got these are 2 left. Don't worry. We've got Golden and Chowdhury. If I forgot anyone else, fuck off. I don't care. Evans. Fuck. We're not Evans.
Well, he's in the first team. It's all right. Add him as well.
We'll all keep Evans. I've made a decision for us. Michael Golden. Yeah, what we saying? Anybody?
See, it is interesting because in chat, everyone's saying Golding loan, but personally, I would keep him and try him. I think that he was better rated in the game than Will Alves was. If you're looking at football as a whole, not just with the blue tinted glasses on, there's something more in him. I think he looks more impressive to me in the pre-season friendlies. It's not maybe saying that much. Look, again, it could be that by September he's not considered good enough and then you do loan him out. That's fair enough. I think a lot of these players, like I say, they're all on trial and it's either they're in the squad and they're going to be playing and they're going to have at worst what Casey McAteer did under Enzo, where he's playing lots and lots of games of a season, even if it's not first team. And if they're not getting that, then they've got to be loaned out. So it's very binary for me in terms of where they are. So I've got a feeling he is going to make the grade and he will be having some squad appearances, even if not first team. And then if not, you loan him out.
Anybody disagree?
No, agree with Neil.
Yeah, I think Golding has. I think for what we paid for him, 5 million, he hasn't been the most, overwhelming player. I think he's not disappointed, but we haven't seen enough of him. I think, like Anil said, he's on trial, right? But I'd rather much see him in the team than I think a Braybrick or a Will Alves. I think he's got that little bit of bite about him, someone who wants to really go out there and prove himself. So I'd keep him.
Just want to bring up this comment, which is fair. It's a fair thing to say. People can see the game differently. Because I personally think, especially in that first preseason friendly, that I was reasonably impressed with Michael Golding. I think he was box crashing at the right times. I think he was making the right runs. I think he wasn't being utilised enough by his teammates. He didn't look anywhere near as good as Lewis Page, who was the one that was the revelation. But for me personally, from what I saw and the understanding of position, there was a lot to like. But look, I'm happy to have the debate. Like I say, I think it's one of those that we won't know ourselves until what Marty decides, right? And keep an eye on these preseason friendlies. I think for me, that's what's going to be interesting. It's not only seeing what the system is going to be, but who are the standout performers. This is now, for all of these youngsters, is a chance of a lifetime to grasp it with 2 hands, right? If you grab it, you're going to be in that first team probably, right? If not, you're not going to have anything around. Yeah, there are too many more players.
Piss off. No, in all fairness, I see... In all fairness, I see Silko Thomas, I see Bowser, I see them in the under-21 squad, to be honest. Does anybody else Does anybody else want to put a name in? Jaden Joseph, of course. Fuck off.
He looked pretty good, to be honest.
He did look good. Again, I think he's going to be in the under 21s, but that could change, of course. That could change. Right. We skipped past Hamza. Sorry, what were we saying for Hamza? I would put him in sell at right price. I don't know about you guys. But...
Same.
Yeah, sell at right price.
Just sell. Yeah, sell at right price either. Yeah.
Tom Wilson-Brown, of course. There's another one. Okay. Anyway, that is our tier list. That is what we've gone with for most of the players. It was looking a little bit shaky at first with the keep category. It looked like we were only going to be keeping 5 players, but we've got quite a lot there. Now, before we finish, I did want to just bring up one clip here. Chris Popov and fucking Logan Briggs, piss off.
Tom Wilson-Brown.
The comments that were coming in earlier about an experienced defender in replace of not Hamza, of Connor Cody. This is where this has been taken from. So I think this is a Rangers fan, and this is who might be in the know. I don't know. This is what's been said. So listen to this, guys.
On tonight, Daniel, it was confirmed to me that Leicester have been in talks with another centre half who they see as a ready-made replacement for Connor Cody. An English guy with bags of Premier League experience, who they feel fits the profile that will be left if Connor Cody was to leave the club, and that these talks have been ongoing now for a couple of days, and I believe to be at quite an advanced stage.
There you go. So. Oh. Very good. Very good. Very, very good. Yeah. Who could that? I mean, I've seen people say Michael Keane. I've seen people say Ben Mee, who used to play for Leicester, of course. I mean, Anil, it seems like one step forward, 2 steps back if we sell Cody and then bring in another experienced English centre back.
John Rudkin, if you're still in chat, don't do it. No, just no, don't do it. Right? Give the youngsters a chance and see what they can do. You do not need a signing like this. And I'm sorry, this nonsense about Connor Cody was a good influence in the dressing room. Relegated with 5 games to go, turned against both managers. He was not, right? You don't need that, right? We need to develop leaders from the get-go, not hire these, people looking for one last paycheck. Do not do it.
Yeah, I
I'm
agree.
wishing for a transfer embargo on our club at this rate.
Yeah,
like that's the thing. That I'd
well,
rather.
Do you remember with Chelsea? Do you remember when Chelsea did it with Lampard? They had an embargo, and they actually had a very, very good year.
I mean, if it came to it, I think I remember saying a few weeks ago and stuff. If it meant just getting the right manager in, I ain't asked about transfers coming in this season. Like, I know we're deficient in the striker role, but even like with how much I berated this squad last season, there's still enough quality there to sort of like make a team out of it. So like, as long as we get the right manager in. So that's all I was focused on, but don't keep adding to the problem, man. Like, yeah, it's anything like any players that have been linked with Rudkin or Wasserman or whatever, just nah.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I bet you when this name gets leaked, it will be a Wasserman client. Of course it will be. Finally, Ethan, anything to add on that rumour there, which we just brought up?
There's no reason to be going for an experienced centre back. I think if you're buying any players, they need to be players that their market value is going to increase in the next year. You cannot keep adding dross to the club and expect the situation to get better. How are you going to improve the finances? How are you going to go forward as a club? And if Rudkin and the recruitment department don't see that, then it spells a lot of trouble for Leicester.
Yeah, no idea, King Leicester. We'll just call Big Wes. I can confirm Big Wes has still got it, especially on a Sunday afternoon in a charity game. So there we go. That's our final tier list. In the sell category, or the sell categories, we've got Justin Thomas, Ndidi, Hermanson, Bilal, Ayew, Wanya, Chowdhury, Samare, Daka, Christensen, Vestergaard, Cody, Bobby Reed, and Fass. Of course, we won't sell all of these. It will probably be the good ones that we sell out of these. But there's easy. I mean, I think from the good ones that will probably leave this summer, there's at least 50 million quid coming into the club from that. So hopefully you would expect, of course, we won't spend all 50 of it, but 15, 20 million of that maybe can go back into the squad. That would be nice. Maybe I'm being hopeful, but we're going to end it there. It's a very long Foxes Den tonight, 1 hour, 1.5 hours. It always turns out this way with the tier list. The squad ain't too. What do you mean the squad's too big? How was that too big?
I think he's right. I think he's right, to be
yeah.
honest with you, as crazy as it sounds. And that shows you
There's only 16 players. There's only 16 players there in keep.
Well, we've forgotten about another 16, didn't we? Don't
use. Oh, I'm doing the James O'Brien in there. Look, it's a James O'Brien. Look at this. Anyway, right, we're going to end it there. But no, I hear what you're saying. Okay, cheers to Anil. Cheers to Ragsy. Cheers to Ethan. We have got a video coming out. Well, we've got 2 videos tomorrow. So we've got Late Night Leicester at 9:30, which will be another juicy one with Luke and others. So prepare yourself for that if you want to hear about all sorts of crazy shit. But earlier on in the day, we're going to have something new on the channel where 20-minute rivals, basically just a 20-minute chat with a fan from another team who will be facing this season. This should be a weekly or fortnightly thing, depends on when people can be bothered to come and chat with me. But that'll be tomorrow. We'll have a good chat about their promotion hopes and stuff like that in the upcoming season. So that should be out about 12:30 tomorrow afternoon, something like that. So cheers all. Have a good evening. Enjoy the rest of your night, and we will see you tomorrow. All the best. Bye-bye.